Yeah, a lot of those poor saps can't even smoke in their own house because they're not in charge. Oh, hello there. I didn't see you come in. And welcome to Weekly Lit. This is the inaugural Advent drama review. And notice I said inaugural instead of first annual because there is no first annual. Um, and there is no such thing. Even if you're aspirational and want to imply that there will be a second one next year, as I do, uh, still say inaugural, not first annual. So I know a lot of you. In fact, I know all of you already knew that. Just a little refresher. And Advent, because in the same tone of pedantry, it's not Christmas yet. It's still Advent. So drama review, because we're going to talk about local theater events that I have attended in the last 5 or 6 months. It's been too long since I got on here for Weekly Lit, so I apologize for that. We'll do a better job of coming on here and talking about literature, including obviously books, poetry, theater, with a few readings here and there. And today I am going to just give a brief discussion of some of the plays that I've seen in the last few months, like I said, beginning with what I would say is the high point, The Lonesome West by Martin McDonough, who has a new movie out right now. He's a playwright and dramatist, screenwriter, director, but he did In Bruges and many other things, Irishman, and so he's got that going for him. And currently, the Banshees of Inisherin is his film. I haven't his newest one. I haven't watched it yet. It's on the agenda. Anyway, The Lonesome West was a production of South Bend Civic Theater, and boy, it's the best play I've seen in years, and combination of the writing, but also the direction and most of all the performances, especially one of my best friends for the longest time, Ken McCoy, who is getting back into acting, and I'm glad he did, because boy, he put on a whale of a performance. It was just phenomenal, and so I'm looking forward to see what else he can do and will do, and the rest of the cast was very good as well, and just a great production. That was a South Bend Civic Theater, and boy, it had everything: dark comedy, ethos, pathos, logos, the whole deal, going back to Greek analytics, and it's a being up close and seeing it in a fairly small venue. Was just just wonderful event. So again, looking forward to what that troupe can do, Ken in particular, and then also more works from Martin McDonough. So urge you to check out his movies and plays. Next up was also from the South Bend Civic. Well, actually, there was a little bit of a Shakespeare festival of sorts in August. I think it was August, maybe even into early September, locally, because the Notre Dame Shakespeare Festival featured Romeo and Juliet, and then South Bend Civic Theater also put on Much Ado About Nothing, which that was a very very good performance of that, top to bottom. The whole cast was excellent, and both the romantic aspects and the comedic aspects done very well. So that was a very good production. And then they also did, and I'm drawing a blank. I think it was not Pride and Prejudice, but Jane Austen play, and I'm just drawing a blank. But it was also a very good production. Largely the same troupe put on the plays back to back, night after night, so alternating plays, which is really a great achievement locally. And it was in an outdoor setting at the St. Joe County Library downtown in South Bend. Just a wonderful setting, great production. Much Ado About Nothing in particular was very well done, well directed. Um, and South Bend, or I'm sorry, the Notre Dame Shakespeare Festival did Romeo and Juliet, and without being overly critical, it was too not up to the usual standards. I hate to say, and um, you know, it's a mixture. The, I understand the premise. It's a mixture of professional actors and some students and some local actors and things like that. And I'm well aware of that because I've gone most, if not all, of the years since its inception. And so I understand there's different qualities or different levels of the ability to commit to it. But that's never been it's never been more evident than this year. The equity actors were very good, but some of the others just did. I don't think were properly prepared or properly directed, in my opinion. Again, just being a little critical, but one of the leads in particular was just kind of spewing out lines, and I won't say which lead it was out of Romeo and Juliet, but she was spewing out her lines like she had to catch the 9:15 train after the performance, and just kind of rushing through. Not very good chemistry. So hopefully they will rebound and do a better performance. That was just an example of apophasis, by the way, literary device that you can look up, and often used by Shakespeare. But so that was not a great production, especially when bracketed by the South Bend Civic Theater productions. Again, with I don't want to say amateurs because they're not amateurs. They're very committed, very good at what they do. But local theater production that really outshone the Notre Dame production. So they've got a challenge on their hands. Then a short time after that, I went to see in October the actors from the London stage production of the Scottish play Macbeth at Notre Dame. The actors from the London stage are housed at Notre Dame each year, and I think they workshop and teach while they're there, and then take their show on the road. So usually we're getting twice a year, spring and fall, a production of superb quality. And actors from the London stage, Patrick Stewart is probably the most famous alumnus of that group. But the way they do things, I may have mentioned it before. I think I did for I can't remember what their last production was, but I think I mentioned it on here or reviewed it on here. But they have 5 actors who portray all of the parts in the play. So they use minimal props, minimal costuming, and but through acting and their skills with changing voices and posture and gestures and inflection and everything else, it's very clear when they're changing the roles. And so it's very tautly produced and usually very professionally done, high quality performances top to bottom. And this was no exception. It's a difficult play to do for anyone, and they really nailed it. So yeah, Macbeth was an excellent production of that, and I look forward to I think they're doing Romeo and Juliet this spring. So I've seen a couple productions of Much Ado About Nothing. This will be a couple productions of Romeo and Juliet this year. Of course, Macbeth, there was the Denzel Washington version dramatization on Apple TV Plus in the spring. That was pretty good, and the actors from the London stage production as well. So yeah, so it's been a good year for some of the old standbys, and so we have the actors from the London stage to look forward to, and I believe in February with Romeo and Juliet. And then only recently I saw a production in Bristol with the Elkhart Civic Theater at the Elkhart Theater at the Bristol Opera House. Elkhart Civic Theater at the Bristol Opera House. It was a production of a radio play version of It's a Wonderful Life, featuring local celebrity Donnie Rocker, top guitarist in the area. And he, in fact, played 5 or 6 roles as a member of the radio troupe and putting on It's a Wonderful Life. So that's the conceit for that. And again, very, very nice production, very well done. And it's a familiar story. You know, the It's a Wonderful Life, very timely for Advent. And that was quite an enjoyable evening, and great production done locally. So the on the horizon, I plan to and will do more episodes very soon. I got a lot of books to get caught up on reviewing and discussing, and including an upcoming episode, maybe the next episode, on Hemingway's bullfighting works. All of them. I did a review this summer, toward the end of the summer, of The Sun Also Rises, Death in the Afternoon, and some of a couple other works that pertain to bullfighting, and read what I hadn't read, reread the ones that I had, and just had some thoughts that are, I think, worth discussing on Hemingway, bullfighting, masculinity, writing, and so forth. And then have, of course, read a few things in the interim that are worth discussing. So welcome your comments and input, and would look forward to keeping this up a little better. And if you can share it with anybody that you think might enjoy it, feel free to comment on some of your favorite plays or performances that you've seen. And we'll keep this thing going with a little more energy and more communication. So I will leave you today with a quick reading, a poem by G.K. Chesterton for Season of Advent. It's called The House of Christmas. G.K. Chesterton, of course, is a favorite. And so this is appropriate as we approach Christmas here. G.K. Chesterton, The House of Christmas. There fared a mother driven forth out of an inn to roam, in the place where she was homeless. All men are at home. The crazy stable close at hand, with shaking timber and shifting sand, grew a stronger thing to abide and stand than the square stones of Rome. For men are homesick in their homes, and strangers under the sun, and they lay on their heads in a foreign land whenever the day is done. Here we have battle and blazing eyes, and chance and honor and high surprise. But our homes are under miraculous skies, where the Yule tale was begun. A child in a foul stable, where the beasts feed and foam. Only where he was homeless are you and I at home. We have hands that fashion and heads that know, but our hearts we lost, how long ago, in a place no chart nor ship can show, under the sky's dome. This world is wild as an old wives' tale, and strange the plain things are. The earth is enough and the air is enough for our wonder and our war. But our rest is as far as the fire drake swings, and our peace is put in impossible things, where clashed and thundered unthinkable wings round an incredible star. To an open house in the evening, home shall men come, to an older place than Eden, and a taller town than Rome. To the end of the way of the wandering star, to the things that cannot be and that are, to the place where God was homeless, and all men are at home. Thank you for your time, and until next time, read harder, and Merry Christmas.